welcome to Zodiac Zone. I am really excited about tonight's show because I don't know about you, but there's some weird energy going around. Um, so let me do this. I'm gonna kind of talk about what's going on in the sky, and then towards the end of the show, I'm gonna do readings with people that call in. So anyway, uh I don't know. I am just really kind of flaky and tired and out of it. I don't know if everybody else is feeling that way. I've talked to some friends and they're just kind of like, what the heck is going on? Well, let's talk about June 3rd. We had a pretty rare alignment with Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So let me explain when all these planets come together like that and are in alignment, it can cause a lot of crazy things to happen. And crazy, I don't mean um it could be like, you know, epiphanies, meaningful symbols, dreams, things like that. Mercury, I'll explain what each planet means. So, Mercury is your mind, that's your thought process. Mars is about action, it's also about anger. Jupiter is about expansion, expanding your surroundings. Saturn is the teacher. So it keeps things responsible. It eliminates things that aren't for your greater good. And it keeps things, like I said, real. Um, Uranus is the awakener. When you have an Uranus transit, it's like all of a sudden things can shift and it's like, holy crap, why did that disappear? And then years later, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that that disappeared. And then Neptune. So Neptune's one of those interesting planets. It stays in a house, and when I'm talking about astrology house, it stays there for about 13 years. So it can cause confusion, but it's really about you connecting to your spiritual insight, really listening to your intuition, that higher voice inside of you that really is guiding you. But then we have something called the ego, and the ego gets in the way. So think about it. It's like when you have all that combustible energy coming together, it can play havoc on your nervous system. It can make you tired. It can make you dream crazy dreams. It can also bring about change, epiphanies, sudden change of direction. So that's what happened on Tuesday. And I feel like we're still kind of getting that energy. Tomorrow we have a new moon. New moons are wonderful things. The new moon in Gemini. Gemini is about communication, it's about writing, it's about socializing, it can be about too laughter. And, a lot of people that have a lot of Gemini in their chart, they're really good at speaking and communications. Um, so I just wanted to kind of clarify that new moons are beginnings of things. So when you think about if you wanted to, let's say, change your communication, maybe it could be the thoughts about yourself, right? If it's that little voice inside of you saying, you know what, I'm not going to always put myself down all the time. I'm going to say really good things about myself, because you manifest what you are and what you feel. And the energy, attracts energy. If you are always putting yourself down, you're going to attract people that are going to put you down. If you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm a wonderful person, I'm smart, um, reminds me of that old Saturday Night Live thing, people love me, then that's the energy that you're going to put out. So this is a really good time to have really good thoughts about yourself. If you're trying to grow a business, or let's say you're in a business and you're trying to get new clients, this is a really good time to get out there and network and do those things that will be prosperous for you. So that's what I wanted to say about the new moon in Gemini. I'm looking at something, and I definitely advise people to get this, especially people that are really, really into astrology. It's the Daily Planetary Guide, Llewellyn's 2024 at a glance. I get it every year, so I can start planning my year knowing what's coming up. I would say any of those people out there, like I said, starting a business or starting something new, definitely do it on a new moon. And I tell my clients this, whatever they have in their chart. For example, I have a lot of Aries in my chart. So I started my business during a new moon in Aries. And it's a way to use the chart as a tool to help you. And that's what I tell all my clients. I'm like, listen, it's not, you shouldn't be afraid of any of this, because people are like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's always the polarity. There's going to be easy things coming in and more difficult things coming in. And I use my chart as a way to, as a snapshot into what's going to happen in the future, or what can I expect. For example, in my solar return chart, I had my son was in my 7th house. So I knew partnership was going to be a very big thing for me. It's about relating to people. And it's not a year for me to do a lot of things alone, as far as my business, as far as getting out there, as far as, socializing, all of that. So again, but it's really about what you feel too, because I feel like all of us, we know what's intuitively what's going to happen with us. We just need a checkpoint. We just need to kind of confirm what we already know about ourselves. And once we understand that, life becomes easier, or at least we know, hey, it's not gonna, it's not, I'm trying to think of the words again. My mind is all kind of Gemini. It's going back and forth here tonight, but it's really about using the chart to really help you understand who you are and how to navigate life's mysteries, I would say. So that's what I want to kind of share with everybody. Enjoy a lot of Gemini. We have the sun in Gemini conjunct the moon in Gemini tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of interesting ideas, maybe some aha moments, maybe a way to look at things from a different perspective. When you have a lot of Gemini in sun and moon, it could be difficult to sleep. You might wake up at about 2, 3, 4 in the morning and be like, oh my gosh, I have this problem and I'm going to solve it. So that's what I wanted to say about Gemini and about the new moon in Gemini. So I wanted to go ahead and take my first reading. Let me go ahead and get my program up. Amber?
Hi.
Is Amber there? Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How was your day?
I'm good. Do you feel all this energy? Are you tired? Are you, a lot of the things that I was talking about?
I just feel lost and all over the place.
I do too. I think it's all, like I said, a planetary alignment and Gemini. Gemini can be like a lot of like, okay, you have one idea and then all of a sudden it's like, what was I thinking again? So,
Right.
yeah. So, okay. Well, I'm going to do a reading. Do you have, what is your birthday?
It's May 2nd.
May 2nd
78.
and 1978?
Yep.
Okay. And what was the time you were born?
10:22 a.m.
10:22 a.m. And the place, city,
Uh,
state,
Seattle, I think.
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. Seattle, Washington. Got it. Okay. So what I do is I really talk about the lunar nodes, which are the elliptical points in the sky. They're very karmic. You come in from the south node, which is the moon energy, which could be your past lives. And you're trying to get to the polarity energy, which is the north node. And for a lot of people, it's kind of difficult to get to that north node because they're so used to operating in the south node. So, first of all, I want to say I'm sure this year is a very transformative year for you
Oh, yeah.
because I know, and I'm in the same boat as you. My nodes are in Aries and Libra, and your nodes are in Aries and Libra as well. You're a south node in Aries in the ninth house, and your north node is actually in Libra in the third house. So,
Mm.
a South node in Aries is tends to be kind of a lone wolf type of personality, and they in the fact that they feel like they have to take everything on. You know, they're very independent. They don't like to ask for help. they
Yeah.
they feel they feel like they want it that, you know, they have everything on their shoulders. Like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You don't have to help
Right.
me. Um, but in this lifetime, it's really about embracing partnerships. And partnerships, not only from a romantic perspective, but also from a business perspective, really the closest relationships in your life, and have it be very balanced and harmonious. And I would
Mm.
say, you know, you're a very, very independent person because ninth house is also house of Sagittarius. So it's like, you know, you look at the world and you just also have this probably this love of travel. You're
Yeah.
probably the type of person that, you know, has to research things and make sure that everything's, you know, this way as far as like, but I would say that for you, the knowledge is already inside of you. And it's really about speaking the knowledge that you already know, and in a way that your closest relationships could understand that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
Yeah. So I feel like that is your life lesson in this lifetime, and that is always going to come up, you know, situations like that.
Hmm.
Um, Couple things also I see. I look at Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. There's a whole story about Chiron. Basically, he was immortal, so he until he was released from his wounds, he lived continually in his wounds. So,
Hmm.
okay. So, what I'm saying is that your Chiron is in Taurus in the 10th
Yeah.
house. And I feel like sometimes you get stuck in your career. I don't know if you're afraid to kind of change, or you're, you know, or you feel like you're afraid to make a move.
Yeah,
because your
yeah.
sun is there too. So, sorry, my dog is dreaming. She's hearing the planetary alignments too. Um, so, I don't know if that has really happened as far as feeling
Mhm,
stuck in what you're doing, but I feel like you shine there too because your sun is there.
mhm.
So I would say for you, use your intuition. If you feel that um, you must make a move in whatever it is, then do it. You know,
Mhm.
don't worry about, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to make a move because I'm afraid what's behind door number two.
Right, and
Because
everything will fall
that'll
apart. Mhm.
everything will fall apart. And did I, because Taurus, the bull can get stuck, right? And it's the bull, I
Right.
mean, have any of us tried to move a bull? Nope. They do things very slowly, but they can stay stuck. So I
Yeah.
think for you, it's really about you saying, okay, I need security, I need all these things, but maybe if I get out of my comfort zone, and with this new moon in Gemini tomorrow, if I get out of my comfort zone, I don't know what something beautiful and magical and different can happen to me. Does that all make sense?
Right. Oh yeah, perfectly.
Yeah.
That's good sense.
Yeah, and you have another interesting thing. You have Jupiter in the 12th house. I feel like that use that Jupiter as far as dreams, maybe have a journal by your bed and write down um even in your lucid state of consciousness just things that you're dreaming about. And I feel like you
Mhm.
could put things together. I feel like journaling would be really, really good for you. Like, really good, because your North Node is in the third house. It's probably something that I don't know if you like to do that,
No,
but
no, I do.
yeah, yeah, because you can look back on it and say, wow, look at the progress I made. And as we grow and understand each other, understand ourselves more,
Mhm.
it's amazing the things that we don't subconsciously think we're growing, but we really are, when we
Right.
actively make the intention to do so. And I feel this is a very transformative year for you to do the things to come out of kind of, you know, and all of us have that cogwheel way of thinking and doing where we kind of just subconsciously do the same thing and expect different results. But
Right.
if you kind of
Makes
come,
sense.
it's really about for you taking some chances, I would say.
Okay.
Taking some chances and just moving. You have Mars in the first house in Leo. I feel like you when you know something, you go after it. You're very conscious about it and just kind of keep doing that because I feel like that would be a really good thing for you. And go out tomorrow, and like I said, it's those thoughts and those things that you tell yourself that make all the difference in the world.
Right.
So, but that's
Thank
what I
you.
have for you tonight. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye. Okay. Yolanda. Is Yolanda there?
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, how are you, Yolanda?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just trying to stay focused with all this Gemini energy.
Hmm.
um, what is your birthday, day, month, year?
10/27/56.
A 27th of October, 1956.
Right.
And the time.
I don't know that.
Okay. Um, I don't really, it would take me a little time to do a rectification chart. So, I always feel uncomfortable when people don't know their birth time because I don't want to give them any false, um, I don't want to give them a false reading because the planets can move depending on what degree it is every couple of minutes. So I don't want it to be wrong for you. So if you the way to get your birth chart, or I'm sorry, your time, is through Vital Statistics, and you can get it online. And you have to order the long form. So
No, yeah, I ordered a birth certificate and it came, and they don't put the time on there anymore.
they do on the long form. If you order specifically the long form, some states automatically put it on the short form, some states don't. So you just have to ask for the long form. I know I was born in New
Oh,
York and I had to get the long form.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, but, definitely call back in when you get that.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Sorry. Okay. So, anyway, just wanted to kind of refresh on what we talked about tonight. Wanted to mention that again, we have the full moon tomorrow night. Um, and so one thing that I always do when I go out, and I write my intentions down, and I say to everyone, you should do this. And also, I have my crystals around me. I have amethyst, I have blue calcite, all of my crystals around me. And what I do is I'm very specific about my intentions and what I want and what I look for when I do my ceremonies around a new moon. And I feel that when you go to crystal shops and when you set up your altar, I recommend to all my clients, I always tell them, set up altars in areas that you want to build an Akashic record around because it's so important, to even bring the spirituality of who you are. And let's say you have a corporate job. I have a corporate job, my full-time job, and then my night job is being an astrologer. So I bring my spirituality into my corporate setting, and I think it's very, very important for people to do that because I think that what we do is we kind of cut it in half. We were like, okay, you have to act this way at a corporate job, and then you have to act this way when you get into your, for example, me when I'm an astrologer. But you want to incorporate this into your life as a whole, and I think that that is really important. So, for example, what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to really think about my thoughts. What is it that I want to manifest into my life tomorrow for this new moon? It is in Gemini, and be very cognizant on the things that I want to write down. You know, what is it that, if I look, what is it that I want to manifest? Well, I want to manifest the fact that I want to bring astrology into the corporate environment. I want to help entrepreneurs and business people. I want them to use their chart as a tool to help them make the decisions that are best for them. So that's what I'm going to write down tomorrow. And then what I do is I sit and I say these things and I write them on a piece of paper and I say them. And then I fold the paper and I put it towards the direction to face the moon. And I find that this helps. These little things help because, again, we want to work with this energy. This energy is out there for a reason and purpose. And it's really about flowing with the energy instead of against it. I find that many of us live on this perpetual cogwheel where we're doing the same thing and we're expecting different results. And we look at the world right now with all of this change and we think to ourselves, oh my gosh, this is just too much for me. And this is crazy. And I tell people that tell me that, I'm like, that's what you're manifesting. If you keep telling, you know, if you keep saying that the world's a hard place, people are crazy, you're crazy, then that's what you're going to get back. So I look at it, I try to sit in discernment and I try to say, hey, everybody's on a different evolutionary level. And where can I make a difference? Where can I help individuals? And that's why I'm so glad that I have a language and tool that I love in astrology. It never gets boring. I can look at the chart from completely different ways. I'm studying vibrational astrology. I understand Western astrology. So it's like I said, I never get bored with it. And I just wanted to, just kind of, it's been nice that I've been able to really speak tonight. Just wanted to tell you that's how I try to live in this world, is just to understand that I chose to be here for a purpose and reason. And it's really about connecting to your soul. It's your soul purpose. And that's what I wanted to kind of convey tonight. So I would invite everybody to get to, embrace this new moon. It's about the communication that you tell yourself, and be kind to yourself. Look at all the wonderful things that are in your life. And even if you're going through a really hard time, just be grateful. So thank you so much for joining me tonight and getting your 30-minute fix of astrology. And like I said, go out tomorrow, enjoy the new moon in Gemini.